I think for me at least, growing up, the extent of the Black history I learned was the enslavement of Africans, and not much more than that, like the civil rights movement and stuff. But I didn't really get to learn like who they were as people beyond their oppression, like you were saying before. I just think it's needed because as of right now, Black people are seen as lesser than. So they need like Black History Month to have more visibility.
So you think today Black people are seen as less than in 2025?
Yeah, in America, in the United States, it's a lot less common on like a interpersonal level. Like you're not going to see somebody say like the hard R and the N word to somebody else on the street, but you see like Black mothers dying in childbirth more. You see like redlining, like Black families not being like the same opportunities for housing, and they end up in places that have like factories or getting like diseases from pollutants. Like it's very on a systemic level, and that makes it easier to not notice.
The way that I've always looked at it, and maybe it's just the way that my mind works, growing up I never set those two things apart. In my head, it seemed like the schools were forced to teach that part of history that they weren't necessarily proud of, besides looking at achievements. The notion where it separates American history and Black history as two separate things, I think it's just a past that America is ashamed of, because it's not a good past. Ignoring it doesn't help anyone. It is part of our history, whether we like it or not, and teaching it is what stops it from happening again, and we need to learn from that.
Yeah, I think the reason why we feel like it's separated is because we feel like we have to dedicate this 1 month towards it. So it's like, oh, now we're learning about Black History Month, but before we learn about American history. But kind of like what you guys were saying, like having it, incorporated in with everything else throughout the whole year, because that's how it really was. It wasn't like, oh, today is like a Black History Day and the next day is like not. History happened in a continuum, and we should learn it as it happened.
I think the issue is proper history isn't taught at home. I remember when I took a German course here, how in Germany they're actually ashamed of the Holocaust and what happened. And I think that reflects back on us on how at home we sugarcoat, and this goes to our parents and grandparents sometimes, we sugarcoat what really happens here in America. And it stems more than just Black people, just people oppressed in general.
Some people are not they're not really able to understand on a deeper level, what Black history as a whole means to the foundation of America as a country. It was very nice getting to hear from everybody, different perspectives and such.
Sometimes I really struggle having conversations like these just because I feel like I don't necessarily fit into a particular minority group. So I feel like I can't speak on certain topics, but I really don't mind sitting and listening. I think it's important.